Hello guys, and thank you for joining me. This is hopefully going to be a very quick video. I'm just going to show you what we're going to create on Thursday in the live and give you an idea of what you'd need if you want to create it with me. So that's what we're going to do. This is what we're creating, this beautiful chunky journal. This is what we're going to make. And it's a stunner. And it will take us probably a couple of hours, but it's totally worth it. Like, we should be able to bang this out one day, I think. So I'll give you a quick flip through of it, and then we'll kind of go through what you'll need to create it. Okay, so you can see, and some of this you don't need if you don't want to. Like I've gone and done wax seals in mine. And these are like the drips that are left over when I make a wax seal. Hopefully, I'm just double check that's perfectly in frame. Like when I make a wax seal, there's usually extras, so I like to save them. So stuff like that you don't have to add if you don't want to. We have some texture paste. I have these little clips in mine because I didn't have any paper clips. So I'll use paper clips probably, but not every page is currently stuck in, just in case. I'm making mine as a gift for somebody, so I don't know what all they'll want to do with it. And the tutorial I followed, because this is all a pack from My Porch Prints, which is a company, and they had a video on their channel of how to kind of make this with the pack. So I followed their tutorial, and then I kind of changed things and added things to make it my own. So that's kind of what we're doing. And then there's like some journaling spots, there's like added pieces, there's little tucks. We add little tabs, there's like little pulls, like this page isn't currently stuck down, that kind of thing. Okay, so like this one's also kind of clipped in, this one too at the moment. I'm probably going to fix this one, I just wasn't sure what I was doing with it. Because I did notice in the journaling video that I watched from My Porch Prints, she did actually miss a couple of pages by accident, I assume. So then there's not much on those pages, so I've kind of tucked some things into them to decide what I want to do. But there's like little pockets, there's lace details, you know, like all sorts of really fun stuff. Like these got little things, like this is a little like pocket, and then there's a tuck behind it. We got a little hanger guy here on a piece of lace. Like this is a tuck spot. This is just a very, very stunning journal. I think it's very, very eye-catching. It's very, very pretty. You guys know I love pink, so Shabby Chic for me is perfect because it is a very pink journal. There's some blue, there's some green, there's some other colors, but I mean, majority of it is quite pink, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of different kind of details we're going to go into with this. So we're going to do it together in the live, like I said. So if you want to do it with me, you absolutely can. If you want to just come and hang out and chat, you absolutely can. Completely up to you what you feel comfortable with. But yeah, this is a stunner. So we're almost at the back here, so I'll show you the last couple of pages, and then we'll talk about what you would need to create this journal with me. But yeah, she's a beaut. So she's just a very, very pretty journal. All right, so if you want to make this with me, you will have to go and buy the Shabby, I have a list right here, the Shabby Victorian scrap pack from My Porch Prints on Etsy. It cost me, I think, $6 Canadian. So I mean, American is probably like $4 or $3.50. I'm not even sure. Cup of coffee price, like very inexpensive. You will have to print this out, or alternatively take it somewhere to be printed. I printed mine because you guys know I have my own little stationery business, so I have a printer. So I printed mine myself, and then you will have to fussy cut. There are a lot of elements, as you saw from this, but if it makes you feel any better, keep in mind that I have to fussy cut it twice. So if that makes you feel, you know, any better, I did, because I fussy cut it so that I could follow her tutorial and understand what I was going to do with you guys, and then I need to fussy cut it so that I can do it with you guys. So I have to cut this twice. So if that makes you, you know, you can chuckle about that while you're cutting yours. But you will have to fussy cut the elements, unless you have like a scan and cut, and you can use that maybe. But otherwise, you know, it is going to be you fussy cutting. So you will have to fussy cut that. To create the base of this, so in that pack, you're going to get, I believe it's 17 sheets of different paper. Because it's an uneven number, we're actually going to print 8, but we're going to print them double-sided. Now, if you have a printer that does that, phenomenal. I do not. I print one side, I stick it back in my printer, and I print the other side. That's how I do that. But that is these pages. So that's why you can see like it's one pattern on one side and a different pattern on the other side. That's how we do that. So you're going to print 8 double-sided pages. There is 17 sheets, so pick your favorite 16 and print them. That gives you 8 double-sided sheets. Then you want to pick 7 single-sided sheets, whatever your favorites are, because that is how we're going to hinge these in. You can kind of see it here. This is a no-sew journal, so we're gonna hinge these into the journal. And I will have the My Porch Prints video linked down below as well. You can go and check out how they made their journal. We're following it, we're just adding a few different details. So if you wanna go check that video out and that kind of gives you an idea of what we're trying to achieve before the live, go for it, go take a gander. Yeah, so that's that. So that's what you need for just creating the base of this journal, okay? So for me, I printed my pages, like the base of the journal, I printed it out in a 32-pound cardstock. Don't use just regular printer paper. It's too thin, and I don't think it's gonna hold up to what we have to add because, of course, you know, this is a bulky book. It doesn't start that way, but we do add a lot to it. So make sure that you kind of print it in a heavier weight cardstock. I'll link the papers that I prefer in the description, and you can go and check them out if that's something you're interested in. Just make sure you use a heavier weight cardstock. So we don't want it to be super heavy because we're adding so much to this. There's a very layer heavy journal, but you want it to hold up to what we're creating. And then for the ephemera pieces, I actually printed it out in my Hammermill paper. You guys know I love Hammermill. It's my favorite cardstock I use it for everything, and it's about 100 pounds. So my ephemera is quite heavy duty, but honestly, it has to hold up to a lot of things. So all of my ephemera, like all of these pages, like all of the pieces, all of that is in the Hammermill cardstock, okay? You will need to print everything. The only thing is that there is a few extra journaling cards. So there's 6 journaling cards, and I think in this we actually use 10. So pick whichever one you like the most and print it twice, because there's some kind of neutral ones, then there's some blue ones, there's some pink ones. I printed the neutral ones twice and the pink ones twice, just because those were my preference. Totally up to you. So make sure you have 10 of the journaling pieces, which are just these cards here. I think that's pretty much it for what you'll need, other than, the extra stuff. And now the extra stuff is completely up to you. You don't have to add it. Like I said, if you have wax seal stickers, use them. That'll work perfectly fine. I don't own any, and I have all the stuff to do wax seals. So I chose to do wax seals instead. But you don't have to. That's a detail that's completely unnecessary. What I would suggest is you do need some lace of some kind. I went to my local crafty store and I just bought 3 yards of a lace that I thought was stunning. So I would suggest, if you can, have like a thicker lace, which is kind of what I'm using like here, and then a thinner lace, like this kind of guy that's sticking out of the tag. If you have some ribbon, awesome. If you have some vintage lace, great. Sari silk would be stunning, especially in a pale pink or blue. I don't own any, so I'm just going with what I have. I did use some mummy cloth. If you have, it's a Tim Holtz product. It's also cheesecloth. Same idea. It's just I own mummy cloth, so that's what I used. So some of that wax seal stuff, a stencil and some paste would be perfect if you have it. Again, not a necessary detail. It's just a fun textural element. And we do add it on a few different pages. I also have a little bit of a chiffon ribbon that I brought in because I thought it was really pretty. Because I don't own a lot of ribbons and whatnot, so I kind of was working with what I have. You will need some foam tape, glue, and double-sided tape. Again, the foam tape, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's just like this is a dimensional piece here, right? It's just up a bit. So there's a few random dimensional pieces within the book, but they aren't necessary, so if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You will need a trimmer, of course. Sanding block, if you have one, it just kind of creates like a bit of a aged look. I use a nail file, like this is, I just used a nail file for mine. So completely up to you. A corner rounder, because we do, like a lot of the cards is squared, so we're gonna round the corners of a lot of things. You don't have to, you can leave them squared, but I do like that look. I think it's really pretty. So it lends itself well to this album. You will need a stapler of some kind. I used a tiny attacher, which is just the Tim Holtz one. It's just this beautiful little guy who has these tiny little staples that are ridiculously cute. If you can kind of see them, I added them. That's how I added all my tabs. So some kind of stapler would be great. A hole punch or a crocodile, just because we do go in and add, you know, like ribbon pieces to some of the tags. Like I haven't done it on these ones, but I probably will. Like I said, this was kind of my demo journal to understand what the heck I was doing. And then I'll go and add some more details. But like this one has a vintage piece of lace. And so I cut it with a crocodile first, and then I went and cut it out because I needed it to be a bit bigger to fit that lace through. So some kind of hole punch. Velcro dots, if you want them. We only use one, but it's to hold this kind of hinging piece together. So if you don't have it, it's just thick, that's all. So it doesn't want to stay shut. There are many other ways to keep something shut, but a Velcro dot is always super great way. And then paper clips. I don't have any. I'll go get some before Thursday, but as I said, I used just these little clips from Tim Holtz because they're flippin' adorable, but I used the whole pack on this journal. Like the whole pack of these little, these are like the tiny clips. The whole pack is currently in this journal. So keep that in mind if you want to use those. Of course, you can adhere the pages in. Currently, some of them are not, or some of them have just little tags that you could add to the page, you know, that kind of stuff. The other thing that I didn't have and didn't use when I created this is I would, if you have it, a like 3-inch circle punch would be phenomenal. Because a lot of these pages have tucks, but you can't tell they have a tuck. So, you know, like this page has a tuck, but you can't tell it does, this page as well. You know, so that kind of thing, I would have kind of notched it just so that it was more obvious that it had a tuck. Because as I said, this is a gift for somebody. And so I want them to know how to use all the things. This one isn't a gift. This one's for me. This was the demo. There's a lot of weird mistakes in this one. But the one that I'm creating with you guys on Thursday, it's a gift for a friend. So I want her to know that like this is a tuck spot because it's not obvious. And some of them aren't. Like some of the, like this isn't a tuck spot. You know, so I would like something that differentiates. So I'll probably end up getting a 1-inch punch before we do the journal, and then I can just notch all of the pieces that are tucks so that it's more obvious that there's something tucked in there, okay? So other than that, that is everything. All of the links will be down below. So run over, if you want to make this with me, run over, buy the pack from my Porch Prints. They have an Etsy shop. They're like a group of phenomenal women. They have a Facebook group too. I'll link that. You guys can go check it out. There are some phenomenal freebies in the Facebook group if that's of interest to you. These circledy pieces, like this guy, I'm pretty sure came from the freebies in their Facebook group. So I'll link the ones that, well, I can't link them because you have to be a member of the group to download them, but I can list what they're called. So if you want to join their Facebook group, you do have to request to join. So you jump over the request to join, and then in the files, I think it is, tab, they have a bunch of freebies, and they have some stunning freebies. Like there's one set, and it's cherry blossoms, and it's just gorgeous. Like, just stunning. So this is what we're making. Thank you for hanging out while I chatted about it. I hope that you're as excited to create this with me as I am to create it with you. And yeah, so Thursday, I don't remember what day of the week it is, to be honest. It's the 23rd, I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. It's whatever Thursday is. 3 p.m. PST, so 6 p.m. EST. We will be sitting down and creating this. And if you don't want to create it and you just want to hang out, please come and chat. Like, come hang out with us. It'll be a lot of fun. So, all right, guys, I hope you want to make this with me, and I hope you'll come and check it out. Otherwise, I will see you again in another video very soon. Bye-bye for now.